If I could turn back time, if I could find a way, I'd take back those words that have hurt you, and you'd stay. How much Byron? What are you doing, Judy? Hey guys, welcome to Appalachia's Homestead. Patara with you tonight. A teachable moment. Please learn from my mistakes. So on our homestead, we like to share with you our journey. We like to share with you all the things that we're doing, and we really like to share our successes. But most importantly, I think it's very important that we share with you our failures. And not that necessarily this is a failure per se. You're going to have things that happen on your homestead, on your farm, in a regular neighborhood that you can't predict. Weather is weather, but you've got to be prepared for it because you're going to be in the elements more. You're going to be dealing with animal life more, and you can easily get hurt. So the rain has been coming down like crazy, and we are expected to get another 2 to 4 inches of rain. This is not typical East Tennessee weather, but it is a pattern that we've been seeing over the past couple of years. In fact, this year is the second wettest on record. Go figure. So here's what I want to tell you. You need to always look at where you are. What are you doing? What is your region doing? Understand that. I have to remind myself as I'm beginning to move to a new property, I'm starting the process all over again, and I'm going to have to sit and watch and learn and let my homestead tell me and dictate to me what I need to do next. Now, what do I mean by that? When you get onto your homestead, you buy a new property. This has been a tough lesson. You need to know, what does it do? It doesn't do this very often. It's only done it probably 5 or 6 times. But the bottom line is when it does do it, it's a pain in the kisser, and you have to quickly adjust, and you have to move things around. So let me tell you what we've learned. Now, this is fixable, so I don't want to make the story out to be more dramatic than it is. But why do something twice? Understand it correctly the first time and make it right, okay? You don't want to have to go back and re-dig something up. You don't want to have to bring in a big old truck of gravel. Fixable, yes, but why go through that pain? So here's the lesson. So this is the first building that we built on our property. We were so proud of it. We built it by hand. We did a really great job, except it's at the low point of the property. Now, we thought it'd get a little bit of rain, a little bit of this or that, but again, we weren't experiencing the weather that we are now. And look what's going on. So what did we learn from that? We learned we needed to pick up our next buildings and move them to higher ground. Put your buildings on the highest ground that you possibly can so that all the water will flow down. That is why you see our barn way up yonder. Not only is it convenient right off of our driveway for entry, but it's high ground and it's super flat and it stays dry. Gates. Gates, gates, gates. You're going to need a ton of gates. Let me tell you the secret to it. Don't you skimp on this. I do not care what your budget is. You find a way to make happen what I'm about to tell you. Now, unless you're confident in the gate that you need in the area in which you're building, Remember, no two farms are the same. You may not have cattle. You just may have a couple little goats or something like that. Nothing wrong with that. But the point I'm making is, if you think you have an area that you will likely, possibly have to drive a truck through or a tractor through, do not get anything smaller in length than a 12-foot gate. This 8-foot jazz, even 10-foot jazz is, I'm telling you, a waste of your time. Going forward, every single gate that we have is 12 feet. Trust me on this one. Now, the next thing I want you to consider, and I'm just going to film it right here, is to think about the size of your buildings. Think about the entryway to them. Think about your stall size. I'm telling you right now that I would rather have fewer stalls that are bigger than a lot of little stalls. You can always make smaller outbuildings. It's more difficult to make bigger outbuildings. They're very expensive. So if you build a mini barn, you build a big red barn, you need to make your stalls as big as possible. I would not go anything smaller than like a 10 by 12. Again, I would rather have 4 stalls in my barn with 12-foot gates. Easier as far as being able to change things up, put a bigger animal in. And with that, here's what my husband said. He said, you've got to make the width bigger too. You've got to make the inside center lane, if you will, of your barn wider. Think about a tractor. You may not have a tractor right now. We didn't have one for a long time. Wasn't really sure we would need one. Guess what? We've outgrown our homestead. You might do the same. Now, again, all of these things are dependent upon what you do, where you are. If you've got 10 chickens, 2 milk goats, and a lab, I don't know. You're not going to have the same issues that we're having right now. But we continue to grow, and we love it. So you want to be able to have it in such a way that you can add on easily, and things aren't a roadblock for your growth. A gate doesn't seem like a big deal, but here's the thing. When you have a gate on your fencing, and it's an 8-foot gate, and you want to add on to the next section and make another paddock, guess what? You might want to get your tractor up in there. Will it successfully go through an 8-foot gate? Most will, some won't. It just depends, but it's great to think ahead and have that ready for the future. Now, in all this winter mess, you're going to ask me, well, did you do anything right? The answer is yes. We did most things right. These were just hard lessons because these were things that really became a problem as we grew and as we added big livestock. I will tell you, putting my garden up off of my house was the smartest thing I ever did. I will tell you, putting my main chicken coop beyond the tractor there, off the house, under shade, I can look right outside my kitchen window and see everything going on, was a very smart decision. So like I said, here is the most key thing. When you move to your homestead, try to not be in such a huge rush to make things permanent. Get to know the land. Get to know your way around. Understand what you want to do and what you don't want to do. What you think today is not going to be what you think tomorrow, and I can assure you it won't be the same in a year from now. So it's better to understand that as much as you can and set it up in such a way. Stretch it a little bit more when you do it so you don't have to revamp it in the end. We appreciate you watching. We hope you're safe. Can you believe it's February? Daffodils are blooming. Rain is pouring. Snow expected this weekend. Hey, welcome to East Tennessee. We appreciate you watching. We appreciate your support. We hope you're safe. We'll see you on the next video. If I could reach the stars, I'd give them all to you. Then you love me like you do.